We heard the terms Great Awakening. This is the season for a Great Awakening. I'm not sure how deeply people think about these terms, these words, just like any other word in our daily vocabulary. Although we have hundreds of millions of words, we express them, we hear them without really putting much thought into it. But when you hear the Great Awakening, what exactly this is mean? Is it something like our eyes are wide awake, but what do you mean to have a great awakening? What is the purpose? Are we are not, none of us are sleeping. We seem to be wide awake. We are doing all sorts of activities, but yet we are trying to encourage people towards these great awakening. And we have in the spiritual community, we have all sorts of discussions about great awakening. But if you really want to unpack this a little bit in depth, maybe uncommon perspectives, perhaps we can try to do that in desperate try for people to wake up. It is like a wake-up call. We have to try different methods. Sometimes this is when we get triggered and start trying to think a bit deeper, because when you are sleeping, when you're trying to wake up, you are sort of like in a limbo in our everyday life. It's really hard to open your eyes. It's really hard to get up. It's not very, the clarity is not at a high point when we are waking up from our sleep in everyday system. But into the spiritual, emotional life, the Great Awakening has a deeper meaning, because after all, we are here in the school of life, life lessons, understanding our external world, because external world is always there to empower us by being a mirror, showing us where we are to pay extra attention and come to conclusions. This is why the mirror sound mirror, the expressions of mirror, because it is not the external world. It is always shadow existence, but it is the internal world that's need the attention. And this is where the lessons are us to learn. For example, I heard somebody says the corporations are treating us like numbers, therefore we are like numbers. We don't need to explore in depth what exactly that means, but this is a great example of learning, because human mind, body, spirit, species are collective consciousness, while everyone, all the other species, including parasites, they are thriving, they are multiplying, they are existing, they are prioritizing their own ecosystem. Humans have to work extra hard to follow this concept of collaboration, unity consciousness, um, working together for a cause, because we are ego-based, we are separated, we are selfish. This is why we have to pay attention. It is a learning experience. The corporations never done anything. It is not their fault. It is our personal responsibility to recognize corporations are there just simply holding a big giant mirror in front of our faces. Doesn't exclude people have to gain the personal responsibility towards the unity consciousness, towards the collaboration, towards the empowerment of our own human species system. So this is the one example. The other, I know the Satan, the demons, the devil have maybe really a bad rap, because maybe there is a credit due. Maybe we haven't really understand what is this concept of demon, Satan, darkness, shadowness. Um, all of these terms that we use with the extra level of resentment and distaste for even expression. Satan, it sounds so horrible, something otherworldly, something is not very nice, but maybe the Satan is like the God's hiree for the school of life to overlook all the things that were areas that need to be uh, looked at and learn lessons. Satan never, or demon never do anything really. They never make you do anything, because we have a personal responsibility for everything that we do. If you are a creator, perspective from a God wants to experience everything from you, through you, for him, so that we are expression of him. But if we have to understand the darkness and the parts that is diseased or disconnected, there is a need to be extra support to recognize these things, because it's not on the surface level what you see, what you can get. The emotions and the surface level is really not that difficult to recognize, but hidden parts of us, without some kind of a substantial um, nudge, we will not recognize, we won't be able to perfect ourselves, because we're all happy, we're all joyous, we're all positive. I am like the positive queen, but there are things that I need to understand and heal about myself, and same goes for everyone. We all think about positivity and the joyous and the happy place, but we are full of a loss of darkness inside of us. This is why we get sick, this is why we're disconnected, this is why we are unpredictable, this is why we have a depression. All of these things, because we have this internal dialogue with us, and that need to be expressed, recognized, and released. The demon, the Satan, is very clever. Actually, is the master of teaching us the most uh, deepest, darkest parts of ourselves, because we are blaming that Satan or demon, but we are the one who is in charge of doing things, our personal responsibility. What better teacher that's going to teach you? Because, for example, I also hear someone says, well, we're not in the club. We are not in their club. We're not part of this club. So therefore, we make the assumption it is like the most luxurious club, maybe on the surface, but perhaps we are protected by something more divine, so that we are not in an open space for a mass destruction and karmic bondage, all these open space to get in all sorts of different troubles. This is how we interpret these kind of circumstances differently. For example, in the higher social hierarchy, we think it's a Satan's playground. Absolutely not. Satan is there. The darkness, prince of darkness, is a vibrational frequency, of course, but we use these terms and the names to explain these circumstances. They're holding extremely big magnifying glass or a mirror, so we can come to realization the level of darkness and areas that we need to heal within ourselves. So where in the social hierarchy people gets into all kinds of trouble, because we're in this open, unregulated open club, you seem to have a superficial power, but it's a freedom to choose, recognize, and elevate. This is where the most important lessons and areas that need to highlight exist. You have to sacrifice something or someone. We never know, but we hear people have spoken about these things. We see some clips. We have come to an understanding of extreme level of darkness. Satan never make you did that. You think Satan make you did that. You make it as an excuse, but you have dug so deeply into the darkness, you don't know how to overcome. You get dragged into the extreme level of darkness. It is your soul, it is your vibration of frequencies that are capable of such a demonic, negative, scariest parts of yourself. You are capable of that, not that Satan. Satan never make you do anything. Oh, will they make me do that? If not, I'm going to lose everything. Perhaps dying with dignity is got a different terms. Maybe it's our time to unpack this idea of dying with dignity. We think dying with dignity is listening to music surrounded by beautiful flowers and people love you and you are dying. This is the dignity. But no, maybe dying with dignity, maybe we need to redefine that. Maybe this is the a, a way to die with clarity. Maybe that's the dignity, because if you are not even awakened to the reality, to the external life, the manipulation and the sabotage, because we are unawakened and disconnected, this is not dying with dignity. Dying with dignity is dying with clarity. Then you immediately change the level of frequency, a vibration of frequency for the afterlife, because you have a level of clarity. Maybe it's time to redefine this factor. The other thing, for example, we have very common, easy to understand, the insurance. We have to pay insurance for your car, everything. For the most part, majority of people are not even gaining a cent out of these social structures. We pay into it thousands of dollars over the years, but we never gain anything back. Occasionally we hear somebody gain $1 million or a couple of millions because of the insurance accident. But look at the state of you. You could be in a wheelchair, you could be damaged for life, but you get some insurance payout. This is a scenario because you had to make it appealing for people to buy into these circumstances. But we never see any dime out of these things. We're paying into it. We never question it because we are not awakened individuals. We think every setup in the external world is there to improve our life. Yet you are actually funding, supporting, and keeping a employment, probably so much more than your earnings, to maintain a social structure that is designed for you, because you're unawakened, unaware, you're involuntarily, voluntarily, you have no choice, but you participate in this level of deception. That's the one scenario. The other thing is the food. I know in the food industry here, we have a lot of chemicals and things that's not supposed to go into your nutritional fuel that's going into your body. It's got a level of expenses. If you have to buy something with a little bit of quality, you have to pay twice as much. This is another deception. So it put things in a context. You put, if you are a nurse, if you are a chef, if you are a housekeeper, if you're a farmer, like, you can't put these poison into your diet. You think, oh, you're a caregiver, you're a nurse. Well, we put a little bit of poison, nobody will notice. It's not going to have any substantial effect right away, maybe in the future, but nobody knows. It's there, so we put a little bit of poison into your diet. The people will come together very quickly to address these costs. Yet it's happened to our food supplies. In every single day we have a little bit of poison put into our food, the lower quality food, and we have inflammation because of that. We're not nurturing our bodies properly, fueling to do their work, go to work. We're not 100%. We're maintaining, we're barely hanging on. The inflammation's taken over. So this is the one scenario. The other thing is the political, social structure is in everybody's face all around the world. One thing, no, I don't know these politicians if they have gone to work in a grocery store. Were they farmers? Were they sanitation workers? Were they plumbers? Were they storekeepers? We don't know. But they have political science. What do you learn in this political science degree? We got to work for people. You got to support them. We got to take it from people to work for them, but never do anything for the people. This is the kind of ideas we get. We're listening to these people because they haven't mastered their own self. They haven't humbled themselves enough. They're too good to be a sanitation worker or a plumber or farmer. I haven't heard there was a farmer that's gone into politics and become a prime minister. Maybe, I don't know. But it's something for us to be awakened into our social structure. They know how to take your money. You had to fund their writings, for their cause. Guess who is funding? The people are. But they haven't done any work for the people, taking from the people to work for the people, but never done anything for the people. This is our political structure. This is something that you can be aware, have awareness, be awakened to. The other part is the school systems. The Satan is the greatest teacher. It requires enormous level of dedication and commitment to be into the dark side, to be enslaved to a Satan's system. There is like going to school, high school, college, degree, another one, PhD, because something is never good enough. You got to master something. So this is the level of dedication for have the ability to work for Satan, become his agent, to become enslaved to his methods, because he's holding this great big mirror in front of your face, so you can recognize all the things that is wrong with you, and you have to correct within yourself. This is what Satan is, the greatest teacher. The credits due where it does. You have the greatest teacher holding something over your head, trying to teach you this is what you are capable of. Going to school, you're going through high school, you're going through college, you go back home for a visit, you know the level of disconnection that is happening with your family. You can't stand them. They're small-minded, they're not intelligence there, so their level of disconnection happen. But you love the way mom cook their meals or something. You go back home, there's nothing in common with them anymore. So then Satan will give you the opportunity, well, hey, this is what you are. So you start looking down on people. Your family is not good enough for you anymore because you're being programmed in another level in the external world. Something that was holding you grounded is no longer important to you because you're flying high up in the sky now. So this is the area you can realize where you are at in your life, the level of commitment that you have to gain in order to go towards the darkened path. Satan might think, well, maybe this is going to be another layer. Maybe this is the time he or she will pack it in and give up on this. But no, the Satan requires you extreme level of isolation and disconnection and a commitment in order to be his agents. This is how considerate Satan really is. So we will never pack it in. We continue to go. Well, master's is not good enough. You got to do a PhD. Fine, that's another layer of commitment. Your student loans keep going up. Satan says, well, you are going down in a path you don't know how to overcome. It's going to be very challenging. So then you have to go through this hurdle so you can the Satan wants another level of commitment. This is how the social structure is designed, so that we can gain clarity. Clarity is dying with dignity. This is what awakening is all about, because everything in externally designed for you is something for you to recognize that you need to get in with that human collective consciousness. This is how you're going to accomplish anything, something at all. In order for you to do that, you have to perfect yourself. So the Satan is holding a gigantic mirror. You are the one who's doing all his bettings. He'll never get his hands dirty because he understands. But the human beings, when we are unawakened, when we're disconnected, when we're separated, this is when we go down that darkened path. We do everything we can possibly do to get entangled with these karmic cycles instead of getting out of karmic cycles. We do horrible things to other people. We scare them, we murder them, we hijack them, we kidnap them. We are doing all of these things from a painful circumstances because you want to have a power, we want to have empowerment, we want to have authority, but it's not the right kind of authority. It's not one with integrity and one with divinity, one with a space for growth. It's the scarcity, it's the ugliness, it's the darkness. This is where we get into a lot of problems, and this is why the Satan is the greatest teacher on earth. So instead of blaming him, being enslaved to them, they use that as an opportunity for you to realize, wow, this is the level of darkness I am willing to go down, because Satan says I'm going to lose this, lose that, I'm going to lose my income. No, no, no. You're not going to lose anything. You're just going to empower, because you have to create these boundaries, because it's all within your own darkness. It's all about protecting your own self. This is why we have to be awakened. This is why we have to get clarity about things. This is my understanding about Great Awakening, another perspective, because the external life really is there for us to use as a tool and empower ourselves, essentially for our growth in awakened state of mind, instead of getting entangled with the karmic cycles.